Hey, what's up, guys? This is Jason with SoundDesignStudio.net. Again, we're here at the warehouse. We're going to bring you a new video on the wing. But before we get started, you already know what I want you to do. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button at the bottom of the screen so we can make sure you stay in touch with us and we can stay in touch with you when we're uploading new videos on everything we do. As far as production, we are a full production house. We provide sound, lighting, video, everything for shows, concert tours, and all that different kind of stuff. So check us out, sounddesignstudio.net. But today we're gonna do an overview. The first video is gonna be an overview of the new console that's out. The wing, the Behringer wing. I'm not a Behringer spokesperson. Let me first of all say that. I just like to do videos on gear and equipment that we have, and to try to give people different ways of looking at gear from my perspective. Maybe it can help you, maybe it can't. If it doesn't, then hey, I tried. But if it does, then great. That's what these videos are for. So let's jump into it. Let's go ahead and switch the screen over. Let's go here. So a quick overview of the section. So this is basically supposed to be your master section. Of course, you have your kind of your bus section and then your channel section. But any section can be basically anything at this point. The X32, of course, your bus section and matrix section was exactly it. That's all it was. You couldn't really bring up your channels in this section. Just like your master fader, you couldn't bring up any channels over here in that section. That's what it was. Same thing over here. Now, it's a sweet deal to be able to do that. But what I will say, for me, starting off looking at the console, it kind of gave me the feel and the vibe looking at it of a DM2000. I don't know why, but it did for me. With the mixture of X32, M32, slash M7 type of vibe. I don't know, but it is it's a cool little console. It definitely can be a great console, especially in the price range. For you guys that don't know, it's supposed to be it's a 96 stereo channel console, or 48 channel mono console. So when it first started talking about the console coming out, it was the way they were wording it. It was a little bit confusing to a lot of people. People were like, well, how many channels is the console? So the easiest way to explain it, you're only able to access a certain number of faders. So with that being said, for people that still don't understand it, just look at it like this. With 48 faders, that's how many with 48 faders, that's how many channels you're able to access, are stereo channels you're able to access. So one channel can act as two channels, one fader connect is two channels, or one fader connect is one channel. So um, it can be a combination of it can be of course a 56 channel console. It can be a 60 channel console if you have the right number of stereo channels / mono channels. But you have to have the right combination of stereo channels / mono channels. So just keep that in mind as you're setting up. So it can be a good situation. On this console, you have the AES ports. You have A, B, and C now compared to just A and B on the X32. You also have a new thing they're adding called Stage Connect, which the way they're explaining it is going to be definitely cool to send all these different channels through just XLR console. I mean XLR cable. I don't really know a lot about it yet, but the way they're explaining is going to be a game changer. Then you also have MIDI on the back. You have your 8 ins, 8 outs. You have your 8 aux ins, 8 aux outs. You have your USB and also your network in and out on the back. Your two network on the back. I think that's all the connections. I'm not looking back there right now at this point, but let's go back to this view. So you still in each section have your view buttons for each section, where you can still view what section you're looking at. Up here you have more of your control section. So you have a little screen right here. The way they're explaining it, or the way it feels to me, this section, it's almost so a person can be doing something on the console right here while somebody can be on the screen. And then it's also, for me, what I like is if this screen goes out, you're still able to access everything right here, and you don't have any issues or situations where it'll be a little bit slower, but you'll probably be able to at least still make it through a show or an event with just being able to see stuff on this little screen, and still having your scribble strips and stuff. So that's a good thing. You have your gains and your gauge and stuff. You can still access that stuff. Access that stuff over here. Over here in this section. And I'm sorry you're not able to see it from this camera view. You have your USB and your over here, and your talkback section and all that different kind of stuff. Now, what I do like about the USB this time, so you're able to charge your phone now. So if you don't believe me, see, that's cool now. So so if you're using your iPad or your iPhone with the console, you'll be able to charge it now. So that's going to be cool, and they'll have a software for the iPad coming out called Copilot, and that'll be pretty cool. From what I'm understanding, that'll be pretty decent. So, like I said, you'll be able to get around pretty smooth and easy. So, you have your sends on in your bus section, or whatever you want to call it. You have your send zone faders, DCAs, main matrix, aux-ins, bus master. Then you have your user, which with this, now you're able to, as you can see, all your faders are down, and then also your scribble strips are blank. So now with this section, um, you're able to actually put what you want on each individual fader. So if I said, hey, if originally, these faders were all drums, and I said, hey, well, I want to go to my user bank and put the kick here and a vocal mic here and a timbale here or whatever, I can do that now. Compared to a X32 or something like that, I wasn't able to do that. I think that's really cool and good for the Behringer console. Um, the larger consoles, you were able to do that. So I think that is very good for them to get into that. It'll be cool to definitely have the spill function on one of the updates. So if you hear me, Behringer, we need the spill function on these consoles, the DCA spill functions. So that would definitely be good. So that's a brief overview, and then over here you have main major DCAs, inputs, aux-in, bus masters, use sections. So, and then in each sections you also have your scroll over tab. So just like with your bus master. So now at this point, you remember on the X32, you had your bus 1 through whatever, and then bus, like 9 through 16. Well, now it's not like that anymore. You just have that one bus master, and now you have to scroll through your buses. Which, I mean, it's not bad. It's cool. So that's that. I mean, it's not hard at all. So I think you'll be cool. And then like I said, what's good, I mean, over here in this section, I mean, you can have inputs over here. So just like my vocal mic right now, my vocal mic is right here. So at this point, you can have anything anywhere on the board. So I think that's definitely a good thing. A good thing. That's a brief overview. Then of course you have your screen. You have your, and let's switch to this. You have your home effects button, which you have your effects tabs with all your different effects, all that different kind of stuff. So they have a nice array of effects. Some cool effects that I've seen before. They just named a little bit different, but uh, but it's definitely a cool little deal. Some nice effects. So you have your your different premium effects, and then your regular effects and all that kind of stuff. So and they have a nice decent amount of effects. So, and then you have your meters and all that. Then you have your routing section. You have your setup, which is your global and all that different kind of stuff in there. Then you have your library, which your library at this point is where you save and all that different kind of stuff now. And then your utility button, you don't really use it that much anymore. You don't use it that much often. So really, at this point, you have to see when and where you can use it. So you have to kind of work it out and see what sections you really use it, and what tabs you can use it on, and all that. So um, that's a brief overview of the board, and check out one of the next videos coming up. Appreciate it.